Now, once you have money ready to be invested in your investing accounts, the next step is to actually go and buy stocks. In Chapter 5 and 6, we already established that we want to invest in an index, specifically the S&P 500. But the only issue is that you can't actually buy in to the S&P 500. An index like the S&P 500 tracks the performance of the top 500 US companies. You cannot invest directly in an index. An index is more like a measurement or metric to track performance. An ETF, exchange traded fund, is something that you can invest in. Some ETFs directly mirror the performance of an index, and this happens because large financial institutions buy some portions of the stocks in the actual index. Like they buy stocks in the index itself, and they buy the stock and they put it in the ETF so that the ETF performs the same way the index would perform. Many financial institutions create their own ETF. So there are several ETFs just for the S&P 500. I'll be completely honest, it doesn't really matter which ETF you choose. Majority perform relatively the same, but here are one or two small things that I would look for to choose the right S&P 500 ETFs. After I do that, I'll give you my opinion on the best S&P 500 ETFs based on that criteria so you don't have to do any work. First, look for high volume. This means many people are trading this ETF, which also means a lot of people are probably invested in this ETF as well. And investing into something that's popular, meaning that other people trust it, is probably the best way to go. Although this won't impact you in any way, shape, or form, a high volume ETF also means your orders will be more quickly filled. Since there are a lot of sellers and buyers on the market all the time, as shown by the high volume, the chances that your trade gets completed quickly is higher. Another thing some people might want to look at is the management fee. Since banks or like financial institutions are doing the work to make the ETF for us, they also kind of charge a small fee so that they can make some money. This fee is expressed as a percentage of the ETF price, so you want to look for ETFs with a low management fee. I don't expect you to go through all this hassle yourself, so here are the S&P 500 ETFs I would choose based on the criteria I just mentioned for different countries. You ideally want to invest into an ETF that is trading in your country's currency so you don't have to pay foreign exchange fees. That's why there's a different ETF for each country on the screen. And if you don't know already, foreign exchange fees are extra fees you have to pay to convert your country's money to another country's money. Like if I wanted to convert Canadian dollars to US dollars to go shopping in the US, I would have to pay extra currency exchange fees, and this actually decreases the amount of US dollars I get. The same logic applies to buying and trading stocks as well. If we just buy stocks or like ETFs in our own country's currency, we will save money on foreign exchange fees. If you decide to maybe just search up S&P 500 ETFs, one thing you might notice is that all the ETFs are different prices. That doesn't mean one is cheaper than the other or anything like that. We care about how our money grows over time. All these ETFs will have the same rate of return because they all track the performance of the same index, the S&P 500. It's like you buying 10 stocks worth $100 each, or you buying one stock worth $1,000. In both situations, you're investing $1,000. Over time, the total of both go the same even though each stocks individually are different prices. So the price of the ETF doesn't actually matter.